Hello. Good morning, students. I hope all of you have been now familiar with the chapter and topic latitudes. Let us continue with the same topic and learn about longitudes. Now, as far as longitudes are concerned, they are of equal importance as that of latitude. Now, what is actually a longitude? A longitude is an angular distance measured from the center of the earth east or west of the prime meridian. So, suppose I keep the protractor over here. That is on the center of the earth. That is on the longitude, just as we used to do for equator. Now from here, if we measure the degrees, we will begin to get 90 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, and so on. Now this will help us to mark the longitudes. So longitude is an angular distance measured from the center of the earth east or west of the prime meridian. So just like the equator, prime meridian is a very important reference line. From here all the longitudes are measured. And the prime meridian divides the earth into two equal halves. That is the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Just like the equator divides the earth into northern and southern hemisphere. Now, as far as meridians of longitudes are concerned, the prime meridian is the reference line and it passes through the center of the earth. And it is a very important line because it is passing through right through the center of the earth, and it is at 0 degree. Now, because we have to measure we have to determine the location of places and also find out time of different places. These meridians of longitudes are very important. So let us take it one by one. So the lines of longitude are imaginary lines which join places having the same angular distance east or west of the prime meridian. So what we come to know is that from the prime meridian we are having imaginary lines in the east, that is why it is written E, and similarly we have got longitudes which are imaginary lines which are measured towards the west. Now all these longitudes make up 360 degrees. Now since the earth is a spherical body, so it has got 360 degrees. We all know that a spherical body has got 360 degrees. So the earth also has got 360 degrees. All longitudes converge at the poles. So all longitudes, they converge at the poles. That is, they are converging at the North Pole and the South Pole. All longitudes are semicircles. The 0 degree and 180 degree are considered one circle. So, all these longitudes, on one side there is a semicircle and another side there is another circle. Together they make one whole circle, but they are semicircles on either side of the earth. Why are they called meridians? They are called meridians because all places located along the particular longitude will face the overhead sun at the same time. So if we have a place over here that is at 30 degree, suppose it is over here, another place is over here, another is over here, another in the southern hemisphere, irrespective of which side they are of the hemisphere, they will all see the overhead sun at the same time when this longitude faces the sun. Apart from that, the distance between the longitude is maximum at the equator and decreases at the poles. This is quite natural because at the equator they are maximum. The difference between two longitudes are maximum. But as one moves towards the poles, the distance between two longitudes begin to become less, and so the distance between them keeps on decreasing. Now, longitudes are very important as far as time is concerned, because the earth is rotating and it is rotating from west to east. So as it rotates from west to east, the longitudes which are towards the east will see the sun first. Suppose here we have the sun, it will see the sun first, while those which are in the west, like North America, South America, they will all see the sun later. So as far as longitude and time is concerned, we have the Greenwich Mean Time over here, which is the 0 degree, longitude. And you can see over here, as one moves towards the east, the time is ahead. That is, this part is to the east of this area. So it is having a time about 1 hour ahead than the time over here. Similarly, the GMT or the Greenwich Mean Time, whatever time it has, all the longitudes which are in the eastern part of the GMT will have 1 hour ahead, or we can say they are ahead here because the longitudes are having a difference of 15 degree, so they are having a difference of time of 1 hour. But let us understand that as we move towards the east, the time is always ahead, while as we move towards the west, the time is later. So when we have to calculate time, we keep on adding time when we are moving towards the east, and we go on subtracting time when we are moving towards the west. Now, what do we mean by the term local time? Now, local time is the time of a place in reference to the position of the sun. So here we see that the It is the local time is the time of a place in reference to the position of the sun. So when we look at this diagram, we find that here we have the longitude mentioned. Now suppose this 30-degree longitude. Now when it is facing the sun, all the places on this longitude will be seeing the overhead sun, irrespective of which hemisphere they are. Even if they are in the northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, they will all be seeing the sun overhead, because this particular longitude is facing the sun. Now, time can be measured with the help of standard time. Now, standard time refers to the time determined by the centrally located meridian of a country. Now, when we take the example of India, because we all are living in India, so let us take the example of India. Now, this particular longitude, that is 82.5 degree east, is passing through the country right at the center. So whatever is the time in this particular longitude, the entire country will be following the same time. Here we need to take note of a very important thing, that is, from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there are about 60 degrees of longitudes. So if we need to calculate, we should have had two standard time. But in order to reduce the inconvenience and also confusion, we have only stuck to one single time. That is, right from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh or from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, everywhere the country is following the same time. However, we must remember that because the earth is a spherical body, all the countries which are in the east will have a time earlier than those of the countries which are in the west. And for the convenience of time, the entire world has been divided into 24 time zones, because we have got 24 hours a day. So the entire world has been divided into 24 time zones. And this has been done in such a way that each particular country has got one time zone. Though India is a big country, it should have had two time zones owing to 60 degrees of longitude, but we have stuck to only one time zone. Similarly, China also follows one time zone. And what is the reason? Because most of the population of China is in the east. Most of the west is a barren and hilly mountainous region. Very few people live there. However, there are countries which are having more than one time zone because they are very large longitudinal. Take the example of Canada. You can see there are 5 time zones in Canada. Similarly, there are about 4 time zones in United States of America. Brazil has got 3 time zones. Australia also has got 3 time zones, and the largest country on the earth, that is Russia, has got 11 time zones. And what are time zones? It is a set of 15 degrees of longitude, which each having a difference of 1 hour, and there are 24 time zones. That is, each of these time zones is ahead or later of the time zones which they are following. For example, in USA, this particular region is having a time zone earlier than that of the central part of United States of America. Now, in order to measure time, the international dateline is of great importance. Now, it is an imaginary line along the 180-degree longitude, and it extends right from the North Pole to the South Pole. It is marked on the place of the Earth's surface where each new date begins. So let's see how. Now, if you look at the international dateline, you will find that it is zigzag. And why is it zigzag? It is zigzag because it keeps all the countries under the same administration on one side, and when there are no countries along its path, it follows the 180-degree longitude. But again, when it comes across countries which are under the same administration, like all these islands, then New Zealand, it bends and keeps all the countries on one side of the international dateline. Why is it so? It is so in order to avoid any kind of confusion regarding days and date. So it is over here that the time is determined. Since the eastern part, we all know that Japan sees the sun first. So what do we find? That this part will always be far ahead than this area. There is almost a difference of 24 hours on either side of the international dateline. So when ships are traveling from west to east, they will be losing a day, while when ships are traveling from east to west, they will be gaining a day, because this particular area is 24 hours later, while this particular area is 24 hours ahead. So students, I think we have understood this topic well, because it is a repetition, and I hope you all must have understood both latitude and longitude, which can help you to carry on with your learning better as we move on to the next chapter in the next class of how days and nights occur and about the motions of the earth. So that is what we have enough time for today. Thank you.